The Chicago Bulls finished the regular season with a dub, a 20-point victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. The Bulls now get to head towards their playing matchup with the Miami Heat. We're going to talk about it all and more, but you know what we got to do first.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go to get into this game for tonight. This was the final regular season game for the Chicago Bulls. We do know that they have at least one playing matchup against the Miami Heat coming up on Wednesday. But for this game, for what it's worth, Kevin Huerter led the Chicago Bulls in scoring in only 16 minutes. He had 18 points, going 6-11 from the field, 5 of 7 from three-point range, with 2 rebounds, 2 assists in this game. Really good there. Not a good game for Coby White. He's 1 of 6 from the field in 19 minutes. No alarms yet there. We're not going to really worry about that. You did have Patrick Williams with 15 points. Taylor Horton-Tucker with 17 points as well. He went 6 of 9 from the field. He got to the free throw line 7 times. He hit 5 of those. 12 points from Jalen Smith, who goes 5 of 13 in his 16 minutes. He gets a double-double with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Zach Collins plays solid with his minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists from him as well. And the Bulls finish this game, and they have a 39-43 record, the exact same record that they finished last season with. And if you know me, I think that that's a major thing, a major thing when you're able to finish that, considering all the ways that this season changed for the Chicago Bulls, man. So it was really important that they finished it in the manner in which they did. But overall, like, the Bulls took care of business today, and it didn't always look the best. It wasn't always the prettiest. It wasn't that, but the Bulls finished this game really strong today. I got to give them credit for coming into this game, where initially started off a little bit shaky, and they were able to finish the game strong in this one, man. But this, we all know, this was a game that was on the schedule, but everything that the Bulls already had wrapped up, it is what it is there. We finished the game really strongly, and 78 points off the bench today for the Chicago Bulls. That's really good, really important there. We had 62 points in the paint. We had 15 second chance points, 21 fast break points. The Bulls were out there moving, man. And now they get to focus on their playing matchup with the Miami Heat and what that's going to bring to this team, right? That's the thing that they need to really focus on, is that they need to have a game plan, because Eric Spoelstra is not coming in to that game to bullshit, right? While the Miami Heat did, they lost today to the Denver Nuggets, right? They lost that game. No, who did they face today? The Washington Wizards they faced off against today. But it is what it is when it comes down to that one. The Bulls got to lock in. They got to prepare. They got a big test in front of them. Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat are not going to make anything easy on the Chicago Bulls. They're just not, right? They're coming into that game to try to play. They're trying to compete. And that's a well-coached team that has really solid depth. They've gone through their own adversity, this team. And so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. P. Will finished strong somehow. Shout out to Flower Power, man. He played really well in that one, man. So conflicted, man. Want my young guys to taste playoff basketball, but also really want Ace Bailey. Well, you're not going to get Ace Bailey. Like, the Bulls' chance of getting Ace Bailey is slim to none. So, that is what it is when it comes down to that one, man. So I don't know what else to say to you on that one. Giddy play, we can win 2 playing games to make the playoffs. Yeah, we can. The Bulls have the ability to win 2 playoff games for sure. We got Brandon L. Jet in the building, says we here. Shout out to BL Jet. 88 bench points. Shout out to the Bulls for the bench points, getting it done. Shout out to Bulls for getting it done. AP will play good. Got to give him credit just as quickly as hate and criticism. Yeah, he played well in this game. No hate to P. Will. P. Will played really well in this game. Now, he got to do it again, right? He got to continue to play the way that we've seen him play before, and we'll see if he can do that, man. But overall, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. P. Will, listen, this is, when it comes down to P. Will, right? he's so up and down, right? And you can't really bet on P. Will to really give you anything consistently. And that's where the problem with P. Will comes at. It's not just that P. Will is like some terrible basketball player. Like, he's not great. I don't think anybody's going to act like P. Will is some amazing and great basketball player. He's not. But he still is a player that we know that he can contribute. P. Will can get into a rhythm. He can score 10 points off the bench with really good defense. And that's part of the problem with P. Will, is the fact that we know he can do it and he just doesn't do it consistently. It's like and it's all mental, at least in my opinion. It's all mental when it comes down to P. Will. It's not like P. Will lacks the ability to do certain things. It's just all mental when it comes down to P. Will. So, it is what it is, man. Overall, I hope the best for P. Will. I hope that he's able to come in here and play really good basketball. I just don't necessarily have the greatest hopes for P. Will when it always comes down to it. Like, we know what he can do. We don't always know what he will do. And that's where the problem lays there with P. Will, is that we know he has the capability. We know he has the ability to do it. The problem is he going to do it? Right? That's always the problem with P. Will. He can do just about anything. P. Will has the ability to do all that shit. He just doesn't do it consistently. Hey, shout out to Kevin Huerter now. Bottle this up and bring it against Miami. We're going to need every bit of it. Every bit of it. P. Will needs an offseason and an attitude change. Like Stacey mentioned and Haize once said, the Modest and P. Will lineup could be fun. And all P. Will needs to do is perform like December 2023. But that's a lot to ask him to do, man. And make no mistake about it. Like, we know that P. Will has the ability, right? Like a P. Will Modest, like you said, a forward combination of that. That's where you want to see the league kind of going. That's where the league is going, I should say. We just got to get there consistently. I just don't know if we're going to. What up, Haize and Bulls Nation? What's going on, flip side? Modest led the team with games played this season at 80. Shout out to Modest Buzelis, man. Shout out to Modest Buzelis. The WNBA draft tomorrow is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Jeremy. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Haize, would you keep Vucevic even though he got one more year left? No. I'm looking to move Vuce. If we can find a move for Vuce, great. If we can't, all right. It is what it is at that point in time. But I'm definitely looking to move on from Vuce. Ho-hum highs and Casper the Friendly Ghost level lows. That's a fact. I missed the game. Say over. How you missed the game, Brody? I think P-Dub hate playing the floor. It's not that. Like I said, he's had the same production playing the 4 as the 3. Like, so I can't get behind that personally. I'm not going to throw him that bell on that, but we'll see. Vooch got to go. He doesn't have to go, but I would like to see him go. Well, he's a liability on defense. At time he can be engaged in the game, but then there are times he can look totally lost on defense, like he doesn't know what to do and like he doesn't care. And that's the biggest concern for me from P. Will this year, is the fact that P. Will's fallen off so bad defensively, because he's been such a good defensive player over the course of his career. It's really sad that he's not that now. Like, he should be better than that. But, it is what it is. I would like to see Lonzo Ball play with the second unit, back up Giddey. I mean, a lot of people would like to see that, but that doesn't mean we will. Like, Lonzo is a career, like, he's not a career crash out. He's a career hurt out. Like, it's just is what it is. Like, you can't bet on people to be healthy at any point in time. You just can't. How did P. Will play in college? Like you see him play now, but he was on a deep team where he didn't start. We don't know what any Bulls player will always do. That's exactly why this team is called the Bipolar Bulls. That's hilarious. What up, gang? Shout out Haize, Pat, and the Cognac Boys for another season of excellent coverage for the Bulls. Listen, we aim to do this. I'm glad. I'm happy to be surrounded by other people who can talk hoops at a really good level, right? That's really what I'm excited to be surrounded by. Man, that brings me so excitement. I have people that I can talk legitimate hoops with. It's not just narrative. It's not just bullshit. We can talk legitimate hoops, man. P. Will still doesn't fail to amaze me with Shackton moves. Fourth, he drives, misses. Smith rebounds, he gets fouled. Then P. Will tries to put back, miss, then back up again, miss again, shaking my head. And he had the wide open miss 3 earlier in the game as well. So, Detroit, man. Lost in the first 3 quarters. How did Modest play in the last game of the season? He played okay. Detroit just sent to OT. All right, cool. Shout out to Detroit on that one. Detroit Milwaukee is an important matchup because the winner of that gets the fifth, sixth seed, right? That's where they're playing for, the 5th, 6th seed. Really fun day of hoops, man. Rockets in Detroit surprised me this year. Detroit is more like the Rockets finished the season really strong, right? Like last season. Um, but I don't even know if you had them like coming in and playing this well this season. But it's been great to see these young teams really step up. Like young teams playing the way that they're playing is big, man. Lonzo not coming back. Bulls blew an opportunity to trade him this past February. You get offered a first round pick. People keep talking about that first round pick. It was lottery protected, right? Now it's not going to be in the lottery, which means that you would have got that pick. But no, overall, it is what it is, man. Rockets in Detroit. I already read that one. Yeah, those are two of my surprise teams for sure as well. As far as positive surprises, some big negative surprises. As far as positive surprises, definitely. Rockets in Detroit surprised me this year. I keep reading that same. Patrick's new nickname is Tupac. That's not funny. Too wordy there. You got to make it a little bit more creative. And with that, the 2024-25 regular season has come to a close. It has. Detroit always had personnel. It's not a shock that they turned it around. The shock to me is that Cade is that dude. We knew he was good, but he's taking off. Well, that's part of the turnaround. So you can't. The two are married. Haize, do you think instead of trying to sign a superstar player, we organically build from the draft as did so go? Yes, that's what I want to see this Bulls team do. I don't want to see the Bulls go after some star. Like I've been telling Bulls fans that all season. Like this is not a year where I want to see the Bulls try to go after some big star. I want to see them keep organically building, man. That's just what I want to see from the team. Okay, trip out of my ass off. Listen, bro, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here in these streets. The fact that the Phoenix Suns ain't even making the play-in make everybody feel good that we have a young team that keeps growing and developing. Well, that's the problem with and that should be a cautionary tale on why not only going all in is too quick, but also valuing what you have. Like that was a team that made the finals, right? And then they sent off 8 and they sent off Chris Paul. They had a team that at that point didn't really fit together, right? I'm not saying that Chris Paul was amazing or anything at that point in time, but like you got to also look at the roster fit, right? You also have to balance out a roster. Roster construction is hugely important. They didn't give a shit about roster construction. Everybody knew they needed a point guard. They tried to convince everybody that they were going to let Devin Booker play point guard and was best for the team. Like that's problematic, man. And they have a lot of crow that they need to eat on why that team is the place that it's in, man. Because that was a huge miss by so many people on that. But huge miss. Flower Power is P. Will's new nickname. Listen, I that's what I'm calling him for until he proves otherwise. It's Flower Power. Had the Bulls only winning 35 games, they exceeded expectations for sure. Facts, I only had them winning 34 or 35 games. That's the mark I put on them, 34 to 35 games. They exceeded that. Now, part of that is the trade, the makeup of that trade, how that ended up working out is like a total thing for them. But yeah, I didn't have them winning that many games either. THC, Vooch, and Patrick Williams are the X factors next week. I don't think that T is going to play a lot. Fans got to stop begging the Bulls to get a superstar right now. Hell, Bears fans too. Today I saw some rumors about TJ Watt and the Bears. Listen, you're always going to see rumors. It is what it is, man. Right? They dismantled that squad and have nothing to show for it. It's a damn shame what happened to Phoenix. They were so goddamn close. They were very close. Haize, remember when I said the superstar teams don't work unless you have a coach that could coach all of them skill sets? Yeah, like Shay, you got to stop saying remember when you said something. Like you said something that nobody else in the world has said. Like either you're completely out of touch with basketball conversations or you really just think that you just be saying some shit and rapping when you really don't be rapping. Like real talk. Oh, C-Dubs in the building.
What's up, my brother?
What up, Dub? How you feeling about the season finale, brother? Finished with 39 wins, the same total as last year. How you feeling?
You know what? That's a great question because I was thinking about that while I was waiting on you a little bit while you were talking about Shay's message. And I was thinking about the statement of the season. What could this season be all if you had to ball it up in a ball and bury it and have somebody unearth it in 1,000 years, what would you say about this season for the Bulls? And I'll say new energy, bro.
That
The-
rediscovered hope.
yeah, like all of that, like even Billy Donovan has new energy.
Yeah, that's
How about the job he's done to keep Nick Vooch? Like Nick Vooch wants to be a part of this. The way he's be playing. This is me. You know how I feel about Nick Vooch. Vooch is fitting in and to what's going on. I think he believes it, at least after that LA game. He believes
I don't know, man. Some of those defensive plays today is like Vooch was playing patty cake, bro.
He could do as much as he want in this game. Don't mean nothing. Billy probably told him, bro, y'all coming out after the first, y'all playing one half and then that's it. So he ain't finna go too hard. But it's really new energy from the fans, from the coaching staff, from the players. They're starting to think that they could be good with a little bit of work.
Yeah, they're going to put in a little bit of work for it, but we'll see. I mean, here's the thing, right? And I said this on today's daily episode. The Bulls are in a very similar position to where the Detroit Pistons were last year. Matter of fact, they're better than what the Detroit Pistons were last year. They've basically finished this season where the Detroit Pistons started off this season at, right? So they have that, like the Detroit, like the Bulls. I don't know if you looked at this, Dub. The Bulls have a better record in the Eastern Conference and a better record against above 500 teams than the Detroit Pistons. We only finished 3 wins less than they do. The Bulls can be that team that really competes for a 6th seed next year, bro.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That I think that's a great statement. I mean, you got to figure that Montes is going to get better, the type of competitor and ball player he is. Coby White gets more comfortable in his role. You get a healthy IO. We're crossing our fingers. Patrick Williams. I mean, do we need more from Patrick? I mean, he's good where we at. Let's stop expecting more. We good where he gives us.
Yeah, I mean, we can embrace what he is as a player right now. But I'll say that if that's what we are, that's a player that's easily replaceable. He better hope.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easily replaceable. So
absolutely, I agree with that. But if he's here, then let's not expect him to give us things that the player and the player getting picked fourth should do. Like he's 10 points. Let's just go for 10 points each game. You know what I'm saying? Let's start there.
No, I agree with that.
Let's not put too much high expectations on. Let's start putting those on Montes. Put those expectations on that kid. He can handle that. Mm-hmm. He got the gumption and he got the heart to do that. He got the heart to stand
Chicago,
up to the
of course he does, bro.
You know, it's easy.
Yeah, like it's a little bit different. Like and that goes to where mentality matters a lot. And there's been a lot of players in this game that have had raw skill, but you got to have the right mentality to use that skill, right? Like, and so P. Will has raw. He still has raw skill. I won't ever say that P. Will is a player that doesn't have skill that can make it, that he can have a long career in the NBA. The problem is that it seems like he doesn't have the mentality to want it, and he may never have it. It is what it is. Shout out to him. He's gonna make well over $100 million over his NBA career, and shout out to him for doing it. He made the NBA. He's going to stick around the NBA as a solid defender off the bench for a while. You know, sometimes that's just what a career is, bro.
I'm kind of thinking when you think back in basketball history of all the greats, they all were like psychos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All of them in their own way, different ways, but they all were like psychos. Larry Bird, Mike, come on, Cole, come on, Shaq.
You know what people may need? People needs a chick to break his heart. He just needs one chick to just break his heart.
You think that'll work?
Hey, bro. Now you remember your first heartbreak. You know, it's a different level of I don't give a fuck the first time you be like, hey, fuck them hoes.
Bro, that'll do that to a normal. You
think it may break him?
Chemical balanced guy. What if it's just compromised chemically balanced wise, right? What would that do to that person, bro? That would make it worse.
That's hilarious. This man said it may make it worse. That's crazy. It's crazy because I understand why you say that, though, for sure. That's crazy.
Oh, man, this is going to be so fun, man. Kevin Huerter, man. Kevin Huerter, that first quarter, man, he was feeling real good. He was feeling good.
Yeah.
That's like the best stretch. Like he had some other good stretches.
He's had some hot stretches, but I think like he was our offense at that point in time because Coby didn't have nothing going. We didn't have Giddey. Modest I think Modest finished the game 3 for 3, but like they were using Modest more as a facilitator. So like Kevin Huerter was able to go off. I asked this question on one of my dailies. Let me ask you this. Kevin Huerter, would you rather see him, because there are teams that always need shooting? Is he a trade chip for you, or is he somebody you want to see the Bulls extend right now if you had to make that decision?
Damn, that's a great question, and a very sneaky and a very fucking. That was very nasty of you to do that. Yeah, I would.
You
Just to
trade him?
be honest, yeah, just to be honest, but I'll keep him if we can't get rid of him or nothing, because he good. He can fit if he
Yeah.
plays like he been playing like the last 3 to 4 games. Yeah, but yeah, I'll use him as trade. Yeah, I'll use him just to be honest. Yes.
I mean, yeah, you got to think, like, don't get me wrong. I love Kevin Huerter. I love what he's
Yeah.
brought to the team, but like, I think you're still at the place, especially because we're not going to be tanking. You're at the place that if somebody offers you assets that are valuable, I mean, that's if AK learned from it, because hell, we could have had a first round pick for Zoe. So,
I
who's to
mean,
know, right? But
yeah,
I think if a team comes calling in the offseason, they're like, hey, we really need some shooting. We love the way Kevin Huerter finished the season. Bulls, here you go. Here's the 18th over 20th overall pick or something like that for Kevin Huerter. A lot of protected first in the future.
yeah. Okay. This is the reason why I'm like, yeah, I trade him. I have to have an excuse because I was just praising him and shit. Like, damn, Kevin Huerter been playing.
Yeah.
Well, like he's good. He's a good shooter. He's good athletically. And he's like a up. How old is he? About 25, 26, 27. He wanted
I
like,
think he's only 26.
He's 26 years old. What if we can get younger and a better jump shooter and a more athletic player? That's the reason. If we could get that player, then yeah, that's better than Kevin Huerter.
Yeah, I mean, who's on the draft board at the time probably makes a lot of sense to have that
Yeah.
conversation then too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, well, like, listen, I'm not mad either way. Like, if you get a good trade for him and it's value,
Yep.
I'm not mad at it. If he
Yep.
stays on here and you do extend him and whatever, I'm not mad at that either, because he's shown not only has he been a good shooter for us, he's been a really good passer, he's been a really good team defender. He's done nothing towards like get his ass up out of here.
Yeah.
But that could also be the reason why you may need to move on
Yeah.
from him, maybe, right?
It is. Business is business.
Yeah.
I just gave you the template, Brandon LJ. I gave it to you, a better shooter and a more athletic and a younger guy. That's it.
Now, you came into the season with the mad hate for Nikola Vucevic.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's warranted. Like, I'm not going to hate is too strong of a word. Hate is like if it's not warranted. Vooch finishes the season. This is his best statistical year as a Chicago Bull. Highest field goal shooting percentage, highest three-point shooting percentage, highest point per game total. I think the second highest rebounding total. He finishes the season with one of his best seasons as a Chicago Bull.
Can I guess his point total and his rebounds total?
Yeah,
Can I guess it? I don't have it in front of me. 18 and 11.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's Nikola Vucevic, but it's the efficiency that he did it at this year. So, for example, last year, it's closer to 19 and 11 though. But last year he had 18 points, but he took 16 shots to get that. He had the same exact stats with 2 less shots per game, for whatever that's worth, and he shot it more efficiently, 53% from the field. So, if that's what we're looking at, all right, are you going to this offseason? Are we going to see the same trade Nikola Vucevic videos, or are you at the place where if Vooch is on this team at the start of the season, are you okay with it, or is it Vooch got to be gone by any means necessary this offseason?
You're being very nasty this afternoon, Mr. Drip. Being very nasty.
You're my brother. I know you. I know how to trigger you. That's
okay, but I must be honest. Vooch is like it's kind of bought in. He's actually putting in effort out there defensively. I've seen him get up in the air and block shots. I've seen him get back on defense. I've seen him at least try to stay in front of defenders. That game against the Los Angeles Lakers, and he got ran by Austin Reeves. He tried. That's the best that he can do. It just wasn't very good, but he tried. He normally wouldn't. I have to give him his props. What props is due. Offensively, he always is going to be good because he's a great offensive big. But I still see this team moving away from Nick Vooch after the season. I just still see it. You got to go younger and more athletic and more defensive minded that can shoot a few threes here and then.
I mean, at this point, if we have a Huerter, I'm not even worried about our big shooting threes. I think they do need about a 15-foot mid-range jumper. If they can hit a couple of open threes, great, right? I'm not saying that it's like I don't want nobody who can hit threes, But I think at this point, like even if you get a lob threat, somebody who can rim protect and actually can switch defensively to where we're not just doing drop defense, I think that can go so good for you if you got because you got scoring in just about every other spot.
And I'm a disagree, but allow me to tell you who on in our in our center room does not shoot the three. And
mean,
neither
Zach
none
Collins
of them
really doesn't shoot the three often.
But he shot 2 or 3 today. He shot.
Yeah, I mean he'll take them if they're open. Yeah, right? And that's kind of what I mean. Somebody I just don't want you to have to run 3-point opportunities for our center. If they can hit it openly, I'm cool with that, right?
Okay, yeah, because that's I think that's vital to the way this iteration of the Chicago Bulls play. Is that floor spacing, so they like to keep the center out by that 3-point line a lot of the times. That's why you see Coby in there cooking the little guys, and you know what I'm saying. That I like Billy. Who I was about to say the C word, Drip.
Billy coaching.
I was about to say another C word that's even more like props.
I don't know what you was about to say.
Thank you. No, forget it. Let's forget it because you're being real nasty today. You're being real nasty.
We're just having a basketball conversation, That's it, man.
I love it though. Let's go.
All right. All right. So the Bulls finished the regular season, same regular season record as last year. We're actually going into the playoffs to seed higher. Last year we were the 10th seed, we're the 9th seed this year. We get to host a home playing game. How confident are you rolling into that game against the Miami Heat?
Oh, I'm very confident. I think the Chicago Bulls are more talented. I think we had this discussion. I feel like me and you had this discussion very recently. I feel like the Chicago Bulls are more talented than the Miami Heat by a lot, to tell you the truth. And the only thing that can really make this an even game is Eric Spoelstra's genius. What kind of game plan can he do? And I'm thinking like the first thing he's going to attack Josh Giddey. He's going to try to take him completely out the game. So they're going to put the weight on Coby and see if Coby can get off. They're going to see if Coby can get off because they're going to try to. That's the only thing you could possibly do. But I think if Josh Giddey can have a good game or one of those, well, he's averaging a triple-double against the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
But, Spoelstra in the playoffs is going to be different than the regular season. It's just going to be different. So the only thing I can confidently say is he's going to try to take away Josh. He's 22 years old. He's not fully matured yet. Let's be honest. Let's see. This is going to be a very interesting game. Very interesting.
They're going to try to take away Josh and Coby, and they're going to do it like a lot of people look at that Thunder game. They're going to do it a lot differently than the Thunder game. Like Thunder were able to do it with one-on-one defense because they have those strong perimeter defenders. What I think the Miami Heat are going to do, they're going to use that hybrid zone defense that the Bulls have still not been able to figure out anytime a team's gone to it. And basically what that's going to allow is that if the Bulls do somehow get into the paint, past the guards on the perimeter, everybody's going to collapse in defensively, which is going to clog the lane for Zach and Coby. And if Coby and Zach can draw fouls, cool, great. You'll force them out the zone that way. But Kevin Huerter, Modest Buzelis, hitting their threes is going to be really important in Wednesday's game. Really important.
You are so on the money. Now, how confident are you individually, or you could do it all as a unit and those guys hitting those threes? Now, you got to put Julian Phillips. We will hope that he see minutes out there. You got to put Patrick Williams in there. You hope that he will see some minutes out there. Like, count everybody in. How confident are you as a unit, or you could do it as individual if you want?
I'm confident that they'll be able to hit a nice fair share of them. I'm confident in Huerter. I'm even confident in Vooch with the way he shot the 3 ball this season. Vooch shot the 3 ball really, really well this season, over 40%. So I'm confident in those two guys. Modest is going to be the X factor here. And I'm not just putting it on that because he's the rookie, because if Modest Buzelis shoots the 3 ball consistently, and keep in mind, then they got to play up on Modest. And if you force them to have to guard Modest at the 3-point line, he could take any. If you put Hami Jaquez on him, he could take Hami off the dribble. If you put Bam on him, Bam can of course force some issues. Bam could force Modest to have a very difficult night on the defensive side of the ball. But the thing I'm saying is that if Modest is hitting those three pointers, you're pulling Bam out the paint. So that means that he's going to have to come far in they're going to lose that hybrid zone ability against Coby and Giddey trying to get to the paint at that point. That's where I think that Modest is such an important. And if they try to put Modest is going to cook Hero. If they try to get Tyler Hero on Modest Buzelis, Modest better cook that motherfucker, bro.
That's not very. I don't think Eric. He way too smart to do some stuff. That's dumb as fuck if he do that shit. I'm sorry about the language.
No, bro, it's Chicago Bulls Central. This ain't locked up.
But you know what's also going to be a key matchup? You know how pesky and irritating and a pit bull Davion Mitchell is. He's going to be locked up with Coby. And Coby cannot get irritated. He cannot get frustrated. He's going to get playoff type defense on him for majority of the game. I think he's going to play every minute Coby plays, and they're going to play him super physical. So he better be up for that challenge that's coming with Davion Mitchell. He's a feisty little
better
guy.
Be ready because it's not going to be easy. It's
not,
sure, bro. They are not making anything easy on them at all, bro.
Man, if Patrick can just give us 15, we'll be straight. If he could give us 15, we'll be straight, bro. But that's not good. Just hoping for that.
You keep going to P Will, and where I'm at the place I'm at right now. I don't give a shit about P Will anymore, bro. I not to say that he can't help. I'm not saying that, but at this point, to me, it's more about I'm not looking for P Will to score a lot. If he can come in and play solidly, hit his open shots, the player that I'm looking for off the bench, and this is going to surprise some people, that I feel, especially in the matchup against the Heat, is Dalen Terry defensively. He can be an X factor off that bench for the Miami Heat. I mean, for the Bulls against the Heat.
You are absolutely right. Okay. Looking at the bench, how many bench points you think that we need to win this game? Because and take into account that we're going to see heavy starter minutes because this is a win or go home game. So you better see mostly starter minutes. So how many points do we need for the bench? Do you think it's around the 20 to 15 mark? Because it's going to be heavy starter minutes. I expect the starters to score between 80 and 90 points. That's how long they gonna be in this game, bro. And then the bench, you gotta give us 15 to 20 points. You gotta be able to.
Yeah, we need 15 to 20 points off the bench for sure. I think that's been the success for us. If you can get about 20 to 22 points off the bench with the scorers doing what we know that they can do, that's solid. And keep in mind, we're probably only going to go about 3 deep into the bench unless we absolutely need to. So if you can get 3 players to spread out and each score 5-6 points, that can get you where you need to be at. So the Bulls have just been so inconsistent with the bench production, bro. It's been so inconsistent. Man.
What about the home play, Drip? What about playing at home?
That's the thing. They've been fighting for this home playoff game. You've been terrible at home.
At home, bro. Just horrible at home, bro.
We'll see, man.
Yeah. I feel more comfortable if we win and go play, you know what I'm saying? Go play Atlanta.
If we win this game, we go play against Atlanta in Atlanta.
Yeah, I feel comfortable. Ooh, Drip, I see your vision, bro. We need it. Our basketball guards need to give that to us. We need that. Montes needs that. He needs that smoke.
Yeah. Last question before we get out of here, C-Dub. I'm going to ask you this one.
Yeah.
How disappointed will you be? How much will it change your view on the season if the Bulls do lose this first playing game against the Miami Heat?
It won't change. Let me just say it because I don't want to, because I'm being my feelings later. This is a good time to ask that question. Great time. So that was good. You made up for being nasty earlier. But look, yeah, I won't feel bad. It won't change my view of the season. I seen steady and progressive uptick in the way that the Bulls played. They ran the ball. We see a type of play. We see what type of team this could be in the future. We actually see a vision of the future of this team. We got some great young players that's getting better about a fucking quarter. Ayos ain't even back, bro. We getting ready to get a nice rookie. It's going to be fun to see how that rookie fits into the mold. So the future is exciting. That's why I said new energy, bro. It's just a new energy with this team.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely different energy around this team right now. We're in such a like going into last offseason, even started this offseason. It was more like a here we go. I guess we'll see what this is going to be. Whereas if the new season started tomorrow, for example, it would be this. Hey, I can't wait to see how these Bulls compete against XYZ team, right? Like it's way more of a excitement now around the team, and they've earned that with their play. It's not like something like I'm excited every offseason because I'm excited to see my team get back on the court, but like it's more of a legitimate excitement now around this team. So I love that. I love that they've been able to get to that point. Yeah. Modest versus Risha Sher. Keep in mind, Modest said that Risha Sher had been ducking him for years, so he can't keep ducking him.
Can't duck that. That's a win or go home, Richard Sher. You cannot duck that.
Damn, Milwaukee beat Detroit.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they beat Detroit. I was hoping Detroit was going to have that 4-5 matchup. That means Milwaukee's going to be taking on the Indiana Pacers in the first round of the playoffs, and the Detroit Pistons are going to be taking on the Knicks. So
the New York Knicks are done for.
They're
done for, bro. The
thing I've always realized is you can't count out a Tibbs team until they're on the ropes. Now, I'm not saying that Detroit still can't beat them, but a Tibbs team, I always look at and say there's always a chance they could do some crazy shit.
Now, this two different types. It's a Gemini type Tibbs coach teams. Like the beginning, be all peaches and roses, but at the end of his tenure,
when this nigga leaving? That's
like, bro. And it's starting to, you see what's happening on the sidelines and stuff, bro. The Detroit Pistons are going to try to fight all the way through that series, bro. That is a rough team. They trying to bring back the bad boy Pistons in a new generational style. They can never go all the way like back in the day. But watch, I'm gonna take Detroit in their series. I'm gonna take Detroit.
Okay, we're gonna have to do over on NBA Central once all the seeding's finished. Maybe we do it tonight after Bears. Is do a playoff prediction. Well, I guess we got to wait till the play-in's done so we know the exact seeding.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then we'll have the full 8 on each side. Yeah,
maybe tonight we can do it. If everybody's down, we can do a play-in predictions just for the play-in team.
Ooh, I'm with it.
Yeah. All right, brother. Any last thoughts before we get up out of here, man?
Hey, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. If y'all haven't already, y'all tweak and stop freeloading, bro. Hit that like button, bro.
Y'all make sure y'all go over to the Shy Bulls podcast with them Cognac boys as well. Go over there. We're gonna have to figure out now that I am and people are calling for me to do live calls. We're gonna have to figure out how to collab it so that we can because we're better when we all together, bro.
That's just a fact, bro. It's no other way to put it, bro.
Yeah, it's just better when we all together. So we're
gonna figure it out. It's at the end of the season.
We got time
to win in. We got a whole bunch of time. If they put it on football, it's a wrap. Oh
if
my
God! If they put football on playback, it's done, bro.
It's over with, bro.
It's over.
Goodbye.
Which the NFL may never. I read some things on why that is a possibility. So apparently, the way that the NFL signed their streaming deals, it doesn't seem like that's going to come. They'd have to make a separate deal with playback, and playback would have to make a deal with all the networks that own NFL streaming.
And they ain't like that. Yeah, they ain't like that yet. They ain't like that. No diss, but they ain't like that yet.
Yeah. But all right, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.